I know Yupo might not be your thing. It wasn't mine until another artist showed me his technique. Now I love it. I know creating a background with no preconceived idea of what you are going to paint is a bit scary, but the techniques I am going to teach you will be so much fun you will forget your fears. The bird with the green background is watercolor on Yupo. Lifting the paint back to white and lighter values defines the bird. The bird with the red and blue background, done on watercolor paper, uses gouache to paint the bird. Obviously, the backgrounds were not created at the same time. Different approaches, both fun to paint. Watercolor on Yupo is only sitting on the surface, making it easy to remove. You can remove the paint all the way back to the white surface, or not. You can use a damp brush, sponge, paper towel, whatever will give you the effect you want. Here you can see the background, the painting partially finished, and the final painting. This is watercolor on Yupo. Fluid acrylic on Yupo is equally as exciting, using different methods like negative painting, glazing to change the color or to darken the color, or painting thin layers of white, allowing some of the background to show through, creates intriguing passages for the viewer. I can be very frugal. When painting my Yupo backgrounds, I spread one color at a time, trying to maintain pure color in places. I felt like I was wasting paint just rinsing my brush, so I pulled out a sheet of watercolor paper to try my techniques on a different surface. These are a few examples. I use leftover paint on my brushes, stamps, and stencils. I paint both at the same time. After I finish my Yupo background and it is drying, I will sometimes go back into the watercolor background to make it more interesting. Remember, I have no preconceived idea what I am going to paint on these surfaces. Here are a few examples of paintings on a watercolor background done while creating a Yupo background. Negative painting is one of my favorite ways to paint. At one time, I shunned opaque paint. Now, as you see, it comes in very handy to define my image. I am still discovering new ways to use these techniques. I still get excited watching paint do its thing. Why a 3-day workshop? In one day, you will not learn enough to truly decide if painting on Yupo or this technique is for you. Day 2, you will start to get the hang of what I'm showing you. Day 3, things will start clicking. You will start to realize that there are some things you can incorporate into your style or even have discovered a new path to wander down. Hopefully, the takeaway is that by stretching yourself to try something new, it will get your creative juices flowing, and you will be excited in your creative endeavors.